Hey guys, so we are here with the Exploding Gratitude Dokkan Thank You Celebration. So we're going to go ahead and go over the details here, and I'm also going to extensively talk about my thoughts on the Gotenks and Exchange Buu as well. So first of all, let's go ahead and take a look here and just go through what the heck? Okay, yeah, this is what they did on JP as well. So it looks like they're going to be throwing out a lot of legendary summon banners. I think in JP there was actually a bunch. It looks like there's only 2 here. Maybe there's going to be more later. But it looks like Baby's going to get a legendary summon banner, and then Goku and Frieza are going to get a legendary summon banner. Okay. It's interesting that they put that before anything else. Sure. So obviously you have the login bonus. We also have the missions as well. Pretty simple stuff. We do have the Purunga Dragon Balls coming out tonight. I believe they should already be out at the time of this recording. But Purunga is very nice. Purunga is something that we didn't have for the 5th year anniversary, as well as the download celebration, otherwise known as the worldwide celebration this year. So the absence of Purunga definitely was felt in those celebrations. So glad to see him back here. A lot of people are very not excited for the celebration, I guess, or unexcited for the celebration. So it's good to see that at least Purunga is here, right? Because, again, something we've been missing for a while. Then we have this other thing, which is 77 characters that you're able to choose from the Baba Shop. What I would do is I would probably take a look at some of the characters that received EZAs on JP, like God Topo, stuff like that, and then maybe make your decisions based off of what we know is coming, because us being on Global, we know in advance what's coming. So another advantage that we have there. Then we actually have Restoration of Reward Boost halved, and then Quadruple XP. This is a little bit weird. They put this out of order. Usually this stuff's, like the Quad XP is at the end of this. Interesting. But yeah, the boost thing is really nice, because especially if you're leveling links, the boost does impact leveling links too. So it's pretty nice that they're having the time that it needs to refresh, which is basically up for a full month, which is nice. Alright, Baba points 30% off, that's fine. All Dokkan events are back. Dragonstone sale, which should be up already. And we have the Dual Dokkan Fest, and they do come with tickets as well. Very, very nice. Obviously, tickets are a global thing only, so take advantage of that when you can. Then we also have the Exploding Gratitude Pack. I'll probably go over that in my summon video, which I'm going to record immediately after this video goes up. Elder Kai banner, which goes away on the 18th. Then we have Gotenks and Buu's Dokkan events. Then the Go Forth Hero of Justice, whatever. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut to another segment where I discuss Gotenks and Buu in detail. It's about a 9+ minute segment that I recorded prior to this video going up, but in anticipation of this dropping, I just wanted to get my thoughts down in a more structured manner, where I discuss Gotenks and Buu and my thoughts on both of those units. So we're going to pause and go there for a second. You guys can see it if you want to, but we'll be back in a second. Alright, so here we are with the Gotenks and Buu details. These guys are coming out for this thank you celebration, obviously, and I just wanted to take a look at both these characters, these units, so that you guys are informed of like what they can do and how good they are. And the first thing I want to do is look at Gotenks. Now, the one gripe I have with both of these units, actually, we'll also take into account this Majin Buu, is the fact that I don't like the way that they're designed. I don't mind the fact that they did Gotenks and Buu for this Dual Dokkan Fest. Now, generally, people aren't super happy with that because they're not super hype characters in general. But I don't mind that. I think I actually like the fact that Dokkan took a risk. And they're like, okay, you know, instead of doing Vegito or like, you know, Goku and Vegeta, again, like they always do, we're going to try something different. And we're going to put one of these like sort of underrated matchups. Well, I wouldn't really say underrated, but less represented matchups in, you know, the Dragon Ball story with Gotenks and Buu as a Dual Dokkan Fest, and try and make that the centerpiece of celebration. I actually do commend them for that. The one place they did falter a little bit is on their design. I think if you take a look back at the Zamasu and Trunks banners, back when those characters came out last year for the Thank You Celebration, those characters were actually designed very well. I really enjoyed the designs of those units, and the big difference that you see between that Trunks and Zamasu release to this Gotenks and Buu release is the fact that it doesn't take as long for Trunks and Zamasu to reach their final forms as it does for Gotenks and Buu. For Trunks and Zamasu, they started in base form, and then in order to transform into their first form, they had to do is come back around a second time on rotation. They transformed via, you know, traditional transformation mechanic, and then the next time they came around in rotation, they could instantly use their active skills to transform into their final form. With these guys, it's a bit different. With Gotenks and Buu, while she pull up Buu as well, as you can see, actually, we'll just take a look at the base form first. So the transformation conditions, I'll shout out to the Dokkan Wiki. They transform starting from the 3rd turn from the start of battle, which is the same exact thing that Trunks and Zamasu do. Take a look at their 2nd forms going into the 3rd form. Transforms can be activated when HP is 70% or more, which is obviously not bad at all. But here's the kicker, starting from the 4th turn after transformation. So yeah, they have to be around on 2 rotations before they can actually transform into their final forms. Now granted, I will say this like for free, the final form version of Gotenks, so Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and then the Super Buu, these final transformation versions of these characters are like god tier. Like they're way better than the final versions of Trunks and Zamasu. Oftentimes, you don't even end up transforming into the final form of Trunks and Zamasu because of the fact that their 2nd transformations are generally more safe to use. And I don't know, like I feel like I would rather have the choice earlier to transform into this form rather than not. I feel like what they could have done, if balance was an issue and if balance was something that they were considering when they designed these final forms of these characters, and if that is the consideration that they had when they were designing the limitations that they placed on the transformation conditions, because this is the same exact condition for Buu as it is for Gotenks, I would have honestly preferred that they toned down the power of these final forms. For me, I just want to be able to have more flexibility with what I want. I don't really care if these units are like mega busted when they're fully transformed all the way. I care about being able to fully use all these units to their utmost potential, because in like Extremes for Battle Road, in terms of just the extreme type stage, not category, because category you actually might be able to see this form occasionally. You're never ever going to see this Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks form or Super Buu in just regular categories for Battle Road or in extreme types for Battle Road, which are the most difficult events in the game. So that's a little bit disappointing, but obviously in events like Legendary Goku event, Infinite Dragon Ball History, these are going to be like ultra powerful characters to use in their final form. The other thing I will say about Gotenks specifically is he introduces the special pose category to the game, which is honestly, it's a pretty useless category. I don't really understand why they decided to do this, but at the very least, it is a very powerful leader skill. Key plus 4 HP attack and defense plus 170 across the board, and then a youth leader skill, which is whatever. So in terms of leader skill, it's not really anything to write home about. Here's a special pose category in case you guys were interested. It's pretty small and it's pretty limited, which is why it's a key 4 170 boost to everything. Some things to note that we will be getting on global soon are the EZA for this Dispo, the EZA for this Topo, this Casserole Pride Troopers unit, this free-to-play Rosie, free-to-play Kakunsa, and this Topo Pride Troopers unit also, who's pretty good. And then we are also getting this free-to-play Exchange Great Saiyaman 2 and 1 in this celebration, so they will be coming as well. In terms of things we could see get added to this potentially, I mean, obviously more versions of Gotenks. I think like an LR Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is definitely something that they would definitely do that. Maybe a Dokkan Fest Super Saiyan Gotenks too. For sure, we are eventually going to be getting a LR version of Topo, either base form transforming into God of Destruction or just an LR God of Destruction Topo straight up. And then obviously, I've been saying this for almost 6 years at this point. Dokkan Fest Captain Ginyu, it has to happen at some point, so he will also fit on here as well. So there is some room for this category to grow a bit, but it is very, very limited on here, so that is the special pose category. But in terms of actually what this guy does, I'm not going to go read through everything here, but you can just look at everything he does here by yourself. Super Saiyan Gotenks is very good. This unit is a very good unit, Super Saiyan Gotenks, for sure. And Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, obviously I just said he was ridiculous, but I think overall as a unit, this Gotenks is very, very good. This Buu is also pretty good. I would say if I had to pick one of the two options, I do think Gotenks is overall the more useful unit, but keep in mind, I think this Buu has a much better leader skill than Gotenks does. Majin Power Key 4 170. We did just get a Majin Power leader for LR Buu just has that right on global. Technically, this Buu was supposed to introduce that category to the game, but we already have this Buu who leads it, who is Key 4 130 and then HP attack, HP and defense 170. The only thing is, this guy's a better leader technically for the category because he not only gives the same key boost, but every stat is 170. So technically he does give more HP. And I would say probably for this category specifically, HP is something you definitely want a lot of, just based off of the fact that like almost every single Majin Buu unit on this team is healing a ridiculous amount of health, and a lot of that healing is based off of the percentage of health you have. So obviously the more percentage of health you have, the more you're going to be healing. The HP being super, super high, 170% boost on this leader skill is very, very powerful. And then he actually is the first real artificial life forms category leader as well, with HP attack 170, ki 3, and defense 130. We haven't really had one of these. The best leader we had for this category prior to this guy releasing is the LR Super Baby 2. So it's been like a year and a half, pretty much, or maybe a little bit less for global, until we ended up getting this, which is finally, you know, it's overdue, but here it is. This Buu is good. Deals are here. I'm not going to read everything, but I think when you compare the first two forms of Buu to the first two forms of Gotenks, I would say Gotenks is better. He's more useful. He fulfills his role better on the teams that he's on. But once you get to the Super Buu versus Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, you know, showdown here, I think I do prefer the Super Buu over Gotenks. This guy literally can't get hurt. It's just, he's invincible. And then now that with the link level update boosting all of his links to be really powerful, him being a Majin Buu unit, it makes him even better. So I think people are overblowing the fact that, oh, like, how could they ever release Buu and Gotenks as dual Dokkan Fest units? I don't think that's an issue. For me personally, the biggest issue comes from this, the conditions being just too stringent, and it takes too long to get them to their final forms. I would rather just have them be less powerful in their final forms, but then, you know, a more lenient transformation conditions. Just literally, just all they had to do was change this 4 to a 3. So instead of 4th turn, it should be 3rd turn. Actually, no, it should have, 3rd turn. Because they transform, that same turn they transform is the 1st turn. Then they come around again. They transform, that's the 1st turn. Then they float off, that's the 2nd turn. And then they come back on rotation the next time, and then that's the 3rd turn. So yeah, all they had to do was change this 4th to a 3rd. And that's all they had to do to make these guys a lot better, in my opinion. So unfortunately, that's not the case, and we are left with what we have here for Gotenks and Buu, but I do think these are very, very interesting units. Again, I'm not disappointed that they are Gotenks and Buu, because I do commend Dokkan for taking a risk and not doing Gogeta, you know, Goku or Vegeta again for the millionth time. So that is something that I do enjoy them trying out, at least, right? You can't fault them for trying it. So that is Gotenks and Buu. Let's move on and look at what else we have in the celebration. Alright, so we are back with the celebration details. So that was my spiel, sort of, on Gotenks and Buu. You guys can let me know if you agree or disagree with what I just said there. Then we have this pack here, Elder Kai banner, Dokkan events. Yeah, this is a new, well, it's not technically it's not a new story event. It is a revamp of an existing story event. I believe this is the 2nd time this is being revamped, by the way. This it was a very, very old story event. It was revamped, I believe, once, and now it's being revamped again. And the SSR Great Saiyaman 2 is a exchange unit, so it's technically it's Great Saiyaman 2 / Great Saiyaman 1, but there is an exchange there. So pretty good unit, especially for the new special pose category as a free-to-play unit. Nothing to write home about, but you know, they're a pretty useful free-to-play unit. There's no reason not to farm them. And then we have the new Virtual Clash season, which is up, and then I believe it should be up as of this recording, which is nice. And okay, here we go. Yeah, this is what I was hoping for. So the Extreme Z area. So it was going to be one of two options here. It was either going to be this, or it was going to be the Slug EZ area. So obviously, personally, I'm happy that it's this one. You guys know just how insane the Prime Battle LR Goku EZA is, as well as the new Prime Battle LR EZA First Form Frieza that literally just came out on JP like 2 days ago. I'm telling you right now, that Frieza is like one of the best units in the entire game, including summonable LRs. I would classify that First Form Frieza on summonable LR level. So if you guys want a shot at that Frieza, the road to that starts here. You need to farm these units up to get that Frieza, because that Frieza event requires that you have the LR Prime Battle Goku fully done. So in order to get that Prime Battle Goku, you have to go through these guys first. So make sure that you're getting this done and not skipping on this, unless you don't want like one of the best units in the game for free, basically. Then we also have this coming back, which is because you need this Int Frieza is farmable from this event. So you need to run, I believe it's stage 1 of this full power Frieza Dokkan event to get that Frieza. Then we have a bunch of story events returning. Finally, the Hero Extermination Plan event is coming back. I literally, this has not been back since like May. It's taken them like 6 months. So that means we should be getting I think it's the Majin Vegeta and Physical Fat Buu Easy A's in about a week from now. Well, I guess technically, is that true? Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm making that up. Maybe it's someone else. But we're getting an extra stage 9, 11, 12, and then a stage 10 on November 22nd. Chain battle. Okay, I'm happy about that. So chain battle's coming on the 12th. Again, not everyone's favorite mode ever, but I kind of enjoy it. It's just something to do, something to, I guess, rile my competitive blood with this game, because there's not really much to compete against other people with this game. But this is going to be versus the Super Saiyan God Goku stage, which is fine. Nothing really too crazy going on there. Then we have some other returning events and some weekend stuff, and that is pretty much it. So in terms of content, the celebration actually has a lot of stuff. Let's just go through one more time the content that we're getting. So we're getting Purunga. I guess you can sort of count that. These bonus things. You're getting the Dokkan events. Then we're getting this new a revamped story event. New season of Dokkan Ultimate Clash in Extreme Z area. And then the return of this with 2 new stages and explosive chain battle. So honestly, it's not really like incredibly hyped, but it's better than a lot of the other celebrations we've had this year, because a lot of the celebrations we've had this year are pretty dry. Definitely not anything crazy, but definitely not terrible. So you guys can let me know down below what you think about the celebration as a whole, as well as my thoughts that I laid out earlier on Gotenks and Buu. Good luck on your summons if you're summoning, and I will see you all in the next one.